Hello and welcome back to yet another classic episode of the Movie Hoppers. Yes, you cannot get rid of us, no matter how hard you try. And I guess I'll update you at the end about all like the shit about like the 1 month hiatus we keep making. But half the people, 75% of the people here don't care about that. So we are going to review a movie, which is a first for this podcast. And Kay, would you like to do the honors of announcing what movie we're going to be reviewing?
We have watched a classic in the making, An American Pickle
Yes.
by the
It,
amazing Seth Rogen.
yes. It's an HBO Max exclusive, which means we might as well not do spoiler talk because none of you guys are going to watch it. But I am personally not a fan of Seth Rogen movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, so we're on the same page. Like, I want to like him so bad, but most of his stuff is just like so boring. It's kind of hard to sit through. I mean, what do you think of him?
um, I feel like no one's telling him no, like you can't make this because it's stupid. He makes it, and then it's not great.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, I mean, he would definitely benefit by people being like, "Yeah, man, yeah, don't make this. Maybe go with like another idea or something."
yeah, I think American Pickle is actually a great example of that because this has the plot of an episode of a kids show, a 15-minute cartoon episode that's 90 minutes long. That's the plot of this movie.
That's why it felt so familiar. I'm like, why have I seen this before?
It's been done on like every Nickelodeon show ever, and Seth Rogen
Yeah,
made it. It's so weird. Um, so I guess we should explain the plot. This guy falls into a pickling thing and becomes a pickle for 100 years. He's Pickle Seth, and he comes back. He's like modern day, and he finds his grandson, great grandson, um, who he does not like. Well, they just have differences. They're so wacky. Also, Seth Rogen plays both of them. Um, and Seth Rogen's old timey accent is just Borat, but that's that's neither here nor there. And yeah, antics ensue, and the plot. Pickles come back like about 30 or 40 minutes into the movie, and that's when it kind of gets cartoonish. It's just fucking.
you
It's
mean that's the part where it got cartoonish?
well, well, that's not a good way of saying that, but that's where the plot really simplified itself. Like at least there was like there was potential here. There was almost something.
I mean, I guess. I mean, to really talk about the elephant in the room, how did he survive and not drown in, water for 100 years?
Look, he got perfectly pickled. He got pickles don't drown, right? So
Right.
it's that's all the explanation you need.
Oh, of course. How could I be so stupid?
But I mean, the way the movie, I guess if I'm gonna have to say something positive eventually because I kind of forced myself into it. Um, the movie does handle the fact that it's stupid kind of well. Like the whole part where he's like with the scientists and stuff, and it just narrates over the explanation of it all because there was obviously no explanation. That was kind of a funny joke.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny,
I think
but
that's the only part like I kind of laughed at, and the rest of the movie was like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
I
Funny. Yeah.
it was almost funny sometimes, so I guess you can give it that. Some movies never get almost funny, so I mean, good on you, Seth Rogen. It's taken only 20 movies and you're almost funny.
You finally did it.
You almost did it. You almost did it. Um, so I think really the main problem with this movie is the plot. I mean, at first, I thought it was just gonna be like a stupid fish out of water. Like, oh my god, look at this old timey guy and he's reacting to technology. Isn't that so funny? You know that trope. But I think that would almost be better than what we got because besides like the first act, there was like so little interaction between the two main characters. It's just so weird. the The fact that Seth Rogen plays two characters and like the main guy is like an old timey guy from 100 years ago doesn't really play into the plot at all. It's just kind of window dressing, and it's just such a generic. I don't know. I did not like the plot of this movie. I mean, did
I'm
you?
like, it's like, why do almost all of like these types of movies have like an aspect of it, or it's like, oh, we're web developers, or we're app developers, or we're doing something with technology because that's what that's what's hip nowadays. I'm like, yeah, I guess that is true, but it's like I don't care at all about that profession.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah, my if keen movie hoppers fans would know that my favorite movie of last year, Jaxie, kind of had the similar technology based thing. And yeah, like a lot of these, I guess adult. I don't know if this is like considered an adult comedy, but I'm gonna consider it one. Have like the main character being like, yeah, that's so fucking weird. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, like anyone, if it's a movie set like geared towards like 30-year-olds, I guess, or like like late 20s, 20-year-olds, something, it's like a tech job. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, and like they always are like, oh my god, I'm not making enough money. Yet they live in Brooklyn with like this freaking this fucking hotel room of an apartment. It's like it's I guess everything had like fucking Friends had that same problem, right? I mean, I'm not a big Friends person, but like isn't aren't they all like a bunch of like poor like kind of poor people, yet they have these big fucking apartments. I never
Yeah.
understand that. Like, why don't you just give them reasonably sized apartments? It's supposed to be like, you're supposed to relate to these people, and the only people that could relate to this character, somebody who like lives in Brooklyn or something, won't be able to relate to them because their apartment is so big and they're living a life that's like not. I don't know. A little side tangent there,
Yeah.
but yeah.
It's so like disconnected. And like I don't know. It's like whenever they do this like type of trope, it's like I'm like, okay, like I don't get it. And I'm not planning to do anything with that type of stuff. So it's like almost like an immediate disconnect between me and the movie. And I'm like, all right. And it's like I can get like other jobs, It's like I'm not like, oh, I don't understand any job besides the one that I want to go into. But it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
It's just done so much.
Yeah, it's almost like getting irritating. Like, okay, I get it. They're doing a tech job. Good for them.
It's almost like every comedy of like the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah,
They all formed from the same script, just like with slight deviations.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of the least of the film's problems. This
Yeah, that was like a little side thing.
I was surprised to find out that this movie wasn't R. I thought that like all Seth Rogen things are like rated R. This was PG-13.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know, just like a side note because it just makes this feel like it's just so weird and insignificant. Just the whole thing. You
Yeah.
don't like both of the main characters are just stereotype. Well, not I guess stereotypes, but just like outlines of characters. They don't have anything interesting about them. The the
Yeah.
old yeah the old
Like, did
time
you expect that though?
I
Did you expect anything different?
I mean no, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to complain about it every time it happens. Because it's especially noticeable here because these characters have no defining features at all. Some movies like try and are like, oh, here's some kind of quirk or here's some kind of thing that makes them. This movie doesn't try. This movie doesn't care. These are cookie cutter characters that is that you would find in like a script that a sixth grader would write. It's really nothing, and of course there is development of the characters, but you kind of know what's gonna happen, despite the plot being like this super off the wall, cartoon plot. You know what's gonna happen. So, basically all development is basically moot because it doesn't really surprise you. I, it's it's a Seth Rogen movie.
It really is.
What I don't get about these movies too is that they always have like high Rotten Tomato scores. Like, I
Because everyone has watched everything already, and this is the only new thing, and they're like, "Whoa, this is
but
great."
I mean I don't personally place Seth Rogen much higher than Adam Sandler.
Okay.
I mean, and Adam Sandler movies they get fucking destroyed, but Seth Rogen movies, like not even just this one, like most of them get like pretty high, like 70%, which is I don't know. I feel like none of
Yeah.
them live up to that at all, especially like Sausage Party. Did you ever see that?
Uh, yeah. Unfortunately.
It's just it's boring. And this, I guess, if you like every other Seth Rogen movie ever made, I guess he's just a love him or hate him guy. I mean, you're gonna like this. It's a Seth Rogen movie. That's all it is.
Hmm.
It's there's nothing to distinguish it. It's a crazy, wacky Seth Rogen movie. And if you like whatever Sausage Party, Neighbors, This Is the End. I think I like This Is the End, but this that kind of stuff. This is just that. So just watch it, I guess. But uh, you think he would try eventually?
I mean, it seems to be working out for him. Like, even just like despite the negative reviews of like, most of his stuff, it's like he's still getting probably a lot of money from this,
Well, yeah, he's
you
getting a lot.
know?
Well, he's getting a lot of money, but
Like,
he's not getting negative. If you look at the reviews of his movies, he's not getting negative reviews.
yeah.
It's like really weird. I just realized how many comedians are Jewish. That's a lot. Anyway, um,
What?
think about Seth Rogen, Adam Sandler, Jerry Seinfeld, Larry David. That's like the big guys, and they're all
Mhm.
Jewish. But that's neither here nor there. That does not affect the quality of the movie, despite that in every movie Seth Rogen is Jewish. Does he write these movies?
I think he does. He has to.
Because in
He
every
has
movie he's Jewish. Like I feel like,
maybe he was, I don't know, typecast as
yeah,
one, and like these are the only parts he can get.
they don't let him do any other parts.
No.
Unlike,
Haha, funny Jewish man.
unlike well, either that or just every comedy movie is just written for like a Jewish person because apparently they're you know all the known comedians are Jewish. It's the
Hmm.
it's a complete opposite of Ellen Page's issue where she is she always plays the straight person, and she is very not straight. But but you know, this has nothing to. We can't really. What are we gonna fucking say about this movie? Uh, uh,
We could say something positive.
I said something. Hey, hey, wait a second. I said something positive. I think it's your turn to say something positive.
Okay, okay. Um, well, all right. So, despite the movie's many flaws, I thought it was like a decent, wholesome movie of like two people coming together despite differences, and I'm like, that's nice, you know. Like it wasn't great, but
Hmm.
because I really didn't care about these people or their arcs, but it was like, all right, I can, I'll watch it, I'll see it through, you know.
Yeah, I
Uh,
guess
yeah,
this is the most, I guess, wholesome Seth Rogen movie. For
that's probably why it's PG-13, you know.
yeah, yeah. I don't know why Seth Rogen would make a wholesome movie, but yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Um, this review is already longer than this movie should have been. It's just not.
Now, there was this one thing that
Oh,
I was
okay.
quite confused about. Is
Uh
like they're in New York, right?
huh.
So why are they walking to Canada?
Look.
They just got a little backpack and decided to make an I don't know how long trip to the Canadian border
Wow.
from New York. Like,
What?
why?
Okay. Well, obviously, uh, you missed the part where there was a car. They got out of a car, and then they walked the 10 miles to Canada. I just destroyed your entire argument. How does it feel?
Damn, I
Damn.
must have fallen asleep at that part.
Yeah, you want to apologize to Seth Rogen? I think you owe him an apology.
Yeah. Sorry, Seth Rogen. I missed that part of the car. We got out and then proceeded to walk.
what I? Oh, wait a second. That's a spoiler, isn't it? Okay, spoiler talk. Anyway, what what I don't understand is how like Seth Rogen was like amazed by New York and was like amazed by like cars and cabs like after like how did he get to the pickle factory to like that science place? Did he walk there blindfolded? Like he must have gotten into a car and like he must have
Yeah.
seen something. And how did he get from there to the hospital? He Why is that the first time he's seen New York or been in a? I don't believe that. That is where.
Rogen think things through.
Well, that's when I realized that this movie is complete fiction, and it lost me. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Nobody actually read this script before shooting it, so it's like I guess you can't blame it. And there were only like two characters in this whole movie, and they were both Seth Rogen, so that definitely did not work for it. I guess the effects were done well, where it was like Seth Rogen and Seth Rogen. That was pretty
Yeah.
seamlessly done.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, obviously, there were some parts where Seth Rogen was hugging a body double, but that's unavoidable.
I
But
always like I don't know. Like I always find that funny, you know? Like there two people supposed to be playing the same character, and I'm like, they're not the same people. You're hugging someone else, and I'm like, I don't know. Like it doesn't even matter, and it's like it's just a small little thing, and it's like, that's not you.
that's an absurd observation right
Yeah,
there.
I know. It's so stupid, but it's like I always think about that. Like no matter what movie. But if it has something to do with twins and they're not actually twins, it's like you're hugging a body double.
Are you like laughing at them?
Um, just like the situation.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have the movie for you. It's called Jack and Jill. Have you
Uh,
ever seen that?
no,
Oh.
and I really don't plan to either.
He, he's trying to play Twister with your sister. That's what it fucking sound. Oh, anyway, this is better than Jack and Jill, but it does not have Al Pacino in it, so that's a shame. But this is better than Jack and Jill. It's, I mean, this isn't the worst movie I've probably seen.
No.
No, I mean, probably due to sheer lack of volume, this might be one of the worst I've seen this year. But that's like because I've seen 10 movies this year, so it's like you know. But it's not unwatchable. It
If you're like bored and have absolutely nothing to do, I guess I don't know, like get a, like I don't know, maybe like a friend or something, but like that I don't know. With
yeah.
the pandemic, it's like people can't really hang out that much.
But
Yeah.
like if you're a Seth Rogen fan, you're gonna like it. So I guess this movie excels in pleasing its target audience. At least I assume a Seth Rogen fan would like that. Uh, to
Does he
the
even have any fans?
I, I don't know. His movies always make money and they have great. I don't understand it. I do not understand how he's like placed in a higher regard than like Adam Sandler and shit like that. But uh, this is also like the only movie where he's not a stoner. I just realized that.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah. It's a shame.
I don't know. That's like his defining trait. Uh, it's
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
um.
Maybe they couldn't fit that in the time constraint. Maybe they're
But
gonna that was a bonus scene where the young guy introduces the old guy to weed.
the did you see the mid-credit scene here?
Yeah,
With it, that was like, was that supposed to be like improv or something? Like, I don't understand
I don't
why
know.
that
I'm like,
was funny.
haha, Barbara Streisand hot.
Yeah, that's a hot take in itself, but like, I mean, I don't. That's not even a joke. There wasn't a joke.
There wasn't any jokes in this whole movie, honest.
Yeah. I, and I love how in all these movies where they bring old people to the present, they just assume that these old people are like completely unable to like adapt in any way, shape, or form, or like comprehend anything. Like,
Well, he did kind of adapt though by creating a health violation of a pickle business.
I I guess he did, but he also took the pickles out of the trash can, you know?
It was what he could find, you know?
I guess so. Pulled himself up by his bootstraps, man.
That
All
like whole scene made me gag. I was just thinking, I'm like, oh my God, it's like it's so disgusting. And like this movie was playing off him getting like talked to the health inspector was a bad thing. I'm like, why? Why is it being played off as a bad thing? He could like get all these people sick.
uh yeah, it's and I love how this movie it just could not resist just doing that joke about hipsters like, is this gluten free? Does this have any bryoxamine in it? And like that's so funny, Seth Rogen. Thank you for making that. That's so fucking original. Thank you, Seth Rogen, for making that joke. That
I
the
feel like that's like another part. It's like tech jobs and like that
it's
it's
almost like
always in these types of movies.
yeah, it's almost like these movies are written by people who are completely out of touch with reality. Just almost. And the the part I guess the closest thing to like another character in this movie would be the college student he recruits. I thought that she would become like a character or something, but that that's whatever. One thing I don't understand is like he like once like the Twitter part, right? Why isn't she like she doesn't even attempt to talk him out of it. She doesn't even attempt to say this is not a good idea. She just says, "Oh, people usually have marketing agencies and shit." He like, why doesn't she tell him just not to do it? Like,
Because that wouldn't further the plot.
and like, is she? She goes on the other side of the picket line. Well, I guess she goes on the. She goes. She becomes a part of the picket line, and he's like, "You're a traitor." But she really is a traitor because she could have very easily stopped this from happening. She was typing out the tweets herself.
Yeah.
That's just she basically said those things herself. She's by not whatever. It's fucking stupid. I totally forgot about the part where he becomes a conservative for like 5 scenes. That was almost funny too. But I think up to that point, the movie was kind of past the point of making any commentary about anything, so it kind of fell a bit flat. But also, I'm just ripping this fucking movie open. After this, you can say whatever you want. I'm sorry, I just need to say this one more thing.
For it.
Why did they not do a DNA test? Like on the guy. Like on the court scene, they're like, this guy is obviously not the right guy. Well, why don't they just there has to be a way to like prove that the I forget his fucking name. Whatever. The young guy. Um there has they didn't even do like a DNA test or anything. Like seriously.
Well, because they need to ship him out as soon as possible.
I
Like he's racist and no good because and we can't find his papers, so it's not it's impossible.
It's well, this movie's dumb. What do you want to say? Do you have anything to say about this?
Not really. And
It's
like there was like a little thing on the side where it's like settings, and I sped this movie up, just to get it over sooner. Like as soon as you told me, like before, like, hey, do you wanna review this? I'm like, okay, let me look up the movie. And as soon as I saw good old Seth Rogen's face, I'm like, oh God, a Seth Rogen movie. So excited. But
Yeah.
you know, it was better than my expectations,
Wow.
but they were still incredibly low.
uh
Yeah,
yeah, I mean
really
this
was excited for this movie.
me either. I wanted to like this movie because I want to like Seth Rogen, but this basically met my expectations. I did not expect to like it. Is what I'm trying to say here, and I did not. So, do you have anything else to say, or do you want to get into the number ratings?
Let's go to the numbers.
I guess I'll go first. I'm gonna give An American Pickle a 3 out of 10. Again, it's a Seth Rogen movie. Take it or leave it. It didn't make me mad, so that's why it's a 3. But it didn't make me laugh, so that's why it's a 3. Take it away.
You know, I'm gonna have to agree with you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like it could have been so much better,
Hmm.
but there was no refining to the script. I mean, there's probably like a lot of refining to it, but just not enough to really make it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It was kind of disappointing, but
Yeah.
like not disappointing because I expected it.
Yeah, it's a Seth Rogen movie.
Classic Seth Rogen.
Okay, well, I guess that's it for this. So, for anybody who has been adamantly watching the movie hoppers, including you, Alex. I'm not going to say your last name, but yeah, apparently he's a fan of this. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a fan of this, so shout out to you. But yeah, there hasn't been an episode since July 4th. I don't remember the last time I did an episode with you. It had to have been over a month, obviously. But basically, the reason why is I guess I can blame the Pam. Oh my god, I had a stroke. Pam Den. Okay, I got this. Shh, I got this. I got this. Pandemic.
There you
Yes,
go.
finally. Um, but because the way this used to work was I would see movies and then there would be trailers for the movies and then I would be like, oh, this is, I want to review this, I want to review this. I would ask you if you could review it, we'd see if it was possible and then, we'd go through that. So the simplification of that is I would find a movie and then want to review it. But now I don't see trailers. I don't know when. I've totally lost track of the film industry, and I have no clue what's coming out week to week. So instead, now I have to want to review something, and then find something to review. And I know that sounds simple, but that's just it's a complete shake up of the formula, and I guess I'm just getting used to that. I mean, it basically all my efforts to get used to it are in vain because theaters are gonna open. I actually think they're gonna open in August now, but I actually think that I didn't really think they were gonna open in July, but yeah. So hopefully, I'm gonna try to do weekly episodes. But hopefully theaters will open soon and we can, it'll be easier to normalize it. Um, So yeah, I don't know what I'm reviewing next. What I don't even know what the next episode's gonna be. I don't know who's gonna be on it. I don't know anything. Because I don't even know what's coming out. So I mean, do you know what's coming out?
Not really.
Yeah, that's like the problem. So, but gonna try to do some. We're gonna try to do weekly episodes again, I guess. Um, because theaters are supposed to. Regal is supposed to open on August 21st. AMC's gonna open around there too. So, hopefully there's gonna be new releases, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's the mini update. We are not gone. This was not a deliberate hiatus. It just happened. So, nothing's wrong. The the show will go on and yeah, keep I guess I don't know if you can. Oh yeah, you can subscribe to podcasts. I think at least on Spotify. So do that to get updates. So yeah, I guess that's about that. That about wraps it up. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and goodbye.
Yeah.